I'm going to show you today how to turn one of these little mini canvases into a screen printing frame for using with primary children or indeed anybody. First of all, this is a primed canvas 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres, available in various stores. This costs 84p ex VAT, which not bad. And first thing we have to do is we have to strip it of its canvas to reveal the frame underneath with a really sharp Stanley knife. Okay, what we need to do is we need to slice through the canvas on the back just to the outside of the staples here. If you take your time doing it, quite safe. There we go, all the way around, just gently stroke through it. Then we have to peel off the canvas like this. It takes 2 seconds. There we go, and you're left with a piece of perfectly square primed canvas which can be kept for other projects. Maybe get a class to do some paintings and splice them all together to make a wall hanging, or various other things. I'll put that over there, keep that. Then with this pair of long nosed nippers, just grab the canvas and rip it off the back of the frame. It should come off very easily. These frames are good because the staples are nice and securely put in. Just make sure that none of the staples have lifted as you've ripped, but it's fine to leave them actually on. On the inside of the canvas you will find sometimes, or sorry, the frame, you will find sometimes a slight rebate there, a slight lip. You want to have that on the upside rather than the downside. Next thing we need is a piece of mesh, slightly bigger, maybe cut about 1 inch bigger than the 15 centimetre by 15 centimetre frame. This is a fine mesh, it's screen printing mesh. You can't really use anything else. It's made of nylon, used to be made of silk, made of nylon, and it's actually quite durable. So pop that down and then make sure that we have our flat surface, not the lipped surface, but our flat surface on top, like that. Then we're going to staple this onto the frame. We need a lightweight stapler. This is particularly good ones, and I find this easier to do on my lap. So what the aim is to try and stretch the mesh so that the warp and the weft is as equal as possible, so that we're not stretching it like that. So we can keep it nice and square to the actual frame. And we're going to actually staple on the edge, not on the face. Okay, so first of all, in the centre of one of the edges, just put a holding staple, then turn it over to the opposite edge, a little tug, and put another holding staple. Then this one, now you don't need to tug this very far because again we don't want that warp and weft to go off plumb, so just a gentle tug and a wee holding staple, and then on the final side in the centre you can give this one a right good tug like that. Okay, now then we work from the centre out all the way around, not pulling straight ahead but pulling sort of out towards, diagonally towards the corner. That way we get a nice tight mesh with no buckles in it. Once you get the hang of this, it's actually really simple and really quick to do. And we're aiming to get the staples about halfway along this edge, if anything sort of erring towards the side, the flat side of the canvas, not the lit side. Okay, there we go. Lightweight staple gun is so much easier to use. Just run out of staples. I'll show you exactly how easy it is to replace the staples. Here we go, there's a strip of staples. It even has a red indicator, which I should have paid more attention to. Slip that up there, pop these in here, clip it like that and finish it. There we go, and that's out of place. Yeah, the lightweight staple guns are so much easier to use if you're doing something small than the big heavy ones. Nearly we're done. If you cut your mesh too small, you won't be able to have enough to grip it. There we go, so now we have nicely stretched mesh on a frame. I want to get a nice sharp pair of scissors and just run them along the edges to get rid of the excess. I don't want that flapping about and picking up bits of ink and marking off. Okay, now we can discard that, or you can keep it and turn it into something else. So there we are. That's the second stage. First stage is to remove the canvas, second stage is to staple on the mesh, and then third stage is we're going to mask off an area so that when you push the ink through from this side, when you push the ink through, it doesn't bleed into this area and then mark off. So we need some tape. We found that duct tape works the best. Gaffer tape is okay, but duct tape for some reason seems to stick better to the mesh. So then we cut 4 bits about the size from there to there, just roughly. Doesn't have to be exact. Get them ready to put on. And if you use white, then you can tell if you've washed it. You can use it any colour really, but then you can tell you've washed it properly. Now when we put these on, we're going to have it a little bit proud of this edge here, so we're going to create a little reservoir. So just eyeball it and put it on nice and tight and smooth. And as you can see, on the inside, it's left a little reservoir there. So it's just an overlap of maybe about 3 or 4 mil. Okay, and quickly go round. Doesn't matter if you don't put them on completely straight. I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so what we're doing is protecting the area around here from getting ink pushed through the mesh. And it just keeps it tidier and neater. You have a masked area through which you're going to print. Okay, there we go. And the last thing that we do is get some masking tape and do the same again with masking tape. Now all this does really is to create another part of a reservoir and increase the size of the reservoir, and also just keep a nice clean line. The masking tape will get wet, so it is replaceable. You'll have to replace it after you know you've finished. But this duct tape should stay on for a good few uses. But again, you will have to replace it eventually. Okay, so the masking tape again, just another couple of mil beyond the duct tape to create a nice straight edge. You can see what you're doing a wee bit more, so you can get it square if you've gone off a wee bit with the duct tape. And it just means that it's an extra layer of security to stop the printing ink from bleeding through. Right, there we go. So there we have one little dinky little screen printing frame ready for use with